you guys, I wanted to share a little bit more information about my planner as I go along and use it. I thought I would share some things that I've discovered about it. This is my planner from personal.planner.com or -planner.com. All the information will be down below. I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that. I just really like the planner and I would like to share, even though, as my last video said, I did have a big disappointment. It's 2 o'clock. I did have a big disappointment over their printing process and their ink quality, not being able to be erased with friction pens or pencils. But that aside, it is the only negative that I have run across in this planner so far. And so today's video is going to be about their paper quality and how I feel about it. Now, I'm not educated on paper. I do not have 15 different planners. I don't know a lot about different kinds of paper, but I just thought I would show you with different pens and inks what I ran into with this planner, and then you can kind of judge for yourself if it's something that's going to work for you. I will just give you the heads up on this. It's really good paper, in my, newbie 2 cents of it. So if you don't want to watch anything more about that, the paper rocks. There you go. If you do, I thought I would just do a quick run through of the paper and show you the different pens and inks that I used in it. Again, the front has a plastic cover. The inside decorated cover that you can either choose one of theirs or you can print your own, not print your own, you can design your own, is a glossy paper. I believe it is the same weight as the inner papers pretty much, except for it has a full printed pattern on it and then it's been covered with a gloss, which makes it just a little thicker and a little tougher. It's by no means going to hold up to wear and tear if you are abusing it, but it's not really what it's designed for. It's essentially a paper cover and then you have a plastic cover to protect it. But the photo quality of it is excellent. I have no issues with how the look of it is. Now again, I had the issues with the erasing, so you got to bear that in mind. But the look of the printing is amazing, and I'm incredibly thrilled with it. But again, the front cover is just a lightweight paper with a gloss covering on it. I did decorate mine with a piece of paper. And then all of the inner pages are exactly the same weight of paper. And so I've kind of moved in. But anyways, so it doesn't really matter which page you go to. It's going to be the same thickness and the same quality of paper on every single page. So these should apply, the inks and the pens that I'm going to show as examples should apply throughout the entire book. Just to flip back to the back, again, the back paper is a glossier type paper. It's a little bit lighter weight actually than the inner pages, and it's printed on both sides. And I don't know if you can see, I got that green line. Yes, it bugs me, but that's okay. We've moved on. So what I did is I took the back page in the book, and I love the size of this planner is probably my absolute favorite thing about it, because I wanted it to sit on my desk. It's going to be my glorified to-do list and get it done and that kind of stuff thing, and it just is the ultimate best size I've run into. All of the other ones are just way too big. This planner does come in different sizes, so this is not the only size. This is actually, I think, the smallest, or the second to the smallest size that you can get. But their website is very explanatory about this, so please check it out. What I did was, we'll start out with the pens. I went through all the different kinds of pens that I have, and sadly that is a lot. I also have a few more coming on order, so yeah, we won't discuss that. Pen issues, yes. But let me go through the pens that let me go through the pens that I currently have in my stash. I have all the colors of pretty much all of these pens, so I just tried to pick some of the darker ones so that we could test the bleed through problems, or not for that matter, on it. The first one that I used was a Pilot. If you do any kind of journaling, you know this pen. A Pilot G2, and this is the .38. It would be the first one. And I'm just going to kind of just go through them, and then we'll flip it over so that you can kind of get the what-ah. I used a Sharpie fine pen that looks like this. Okay. I love these Writer Dudes Super Gels, but they have a great big tip. But they're still really cool, but they're very juicy and inky, so I wanted to see if they would bleed through. The next one that I did was, oh, I did do the friction one on here, but remember, you cannot erase with these. I mean, obviously you can erase with them, but it will smear the lines in this planner. So yeah, but I did put it on here so you could see if it bled through or not. The next one I have is distress markers. I have all of these and I love them. So I wanted to see if I'd be able to use them, mostly because I want to stamp with them. So hold on for that. There is also, I had a whole package of the Crayola, what are these called? Super Tips. And it's just a Crayola marker. I used a Bic Mark-It, which is basically a Sharpie type pen. I also used, what was next? The Infinity. And this is also by Right Dudes. You know, you've probably all seen these. I use these type of Sharpies also, the ultrafine markers. So I tried that one. I tried the Pitt pens, which are my ultimate favorite pen for lots of stuff. They're just write so beautifully, but I tried one of those. And then last but not least, I tried the Zig Millennium pens, and these are used a lot in Zentangling and stuff like that. So that's the pens that I have that I tried. So you can see on here that they all write, of course, you know, really nice, as you can see. But now's the test. Did they bleed or didn't they? Da, 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 da. Let's find out. And I'll be happy to report the only ones that bled were the two Sharpies. Well, I shouldn't call them just Sharpies. The Bic Mark-It, of course, bled because they're just, I mean, they're just craziness. They have intense pigment and they just soak into everything you put them on. And the only other one that bled through would be the Sharpie marker. Now, none of the Sharpie pens like this, these did not bleed through. So you'd be safe with all the pens except for these two. If you don't care about bleed through, then you can do whatever you want, of course. But so those were the only two pens that bled through out of all of these different pens. Now, the other thing I wanted to try was stamping in it, because we all are getting into the stamping in our planners. So we'll flip it back here. Okay, so using various stamps that I had, most of these are from the Sweet Stamp Shop, and then I don't know where I got it stamped. I went through the different inks that I have. Now, there are 5 bazillion different pens and 5 bazillion different stamping inks. These are the 4 brands that I own. I'm sure there are others. I don't know if they'll work or not, but I wanted to show you with what I use. And then I'm sure somebody else can do it with other types of inks. But we have a good range here with solvent-based and dye and pigment, etc. inks. So I thought I would give them a try and see how they stamped. I have the full set of the Distress inks, so they're my color inks, if you will. They are not the best stamping inks. If anybody has used Distress inks at all, they tend to be a little bit blotchy because they are a water-based paint. They're a dye. They're not a pigment ink, so they kind of are a blotchier. Think of a watercolor look to them. But if you don't care, then these work really good. And since you've already seen the back side, you can already tell that none of them bled through. So I used the Distress inks, 3 different colors of the Distress inks to try them. I used the Memento Tuxedo Black on this one here. It did not bleed through. The VersaFine Onyx Black, this is my ultimate favorite ink ever on the planet. Love it. Love it. If you're not real good with stamping, or you're not, you're new to stamping, I would start here. It makes you feel like a pro. That's my favorite. And I also tried StazOn, which is a solvent ink, which usually, it's kind of like working with a Sharpie, if you will. And it did not bleed through either. So they all stamped very nice, except for the Distress ink if you're looking for perfect stamping. They stamp fine. They're just not crisp. The rest of them are relatively crisp. I think Memento is probably my least favorite ink, though. I don't really know why. I just don't feel like my odds of a good stamp first time out are almost never good with the Memento. That's personal, though, not... I have no skill. So that's why I like this one. I never get a bad stamp with the VersaFine. So yeah, I would say you are probably good with just about any stamping ink that you went to use in this planner. The paper quality is nice and thick. There's very little bleed through, as you could tell. Only 2 of the markers bled through. I was shocked that even the Crayola one didn't, and it didn't. None of them did except for the Bicky, the Bic markets and the Sharpie markers did bleed through. So I hope that helps you guys to decide whether this is a planner for you or not, or at least gives you a little bit more information about it. If you have comments or questions or suggestions about, things you'd like to see in this planner, please let me know down below, and I will catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.